promised, Olivia Rodrigo. Olivia, I've never met you. This is our first time we're on Zoom. So right off the bat, how are you? And I'm looking at your, where are you?
Yes, I'm actually in my manager's house right now because I can't figure out how to work technology and I couldn't figure out how to like set up the light and the Zoom stuff. So she was like, I'll set it up for you, come over. So that's what I'm doing right now. And yeah, I'm really good. I'm chilling in sunny LA.
Yeah, same. Well, sunny-ish today. Hey, how has quarantine life been for you? Been, the typical, you're locked down, feeling kind of crazy like the rest of us?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a universally difficult experience. I kind of lucked out in the way that I've been homeschooled since I was in 7th grade. So the whole like online school, staying at home thing isn't super new to me. And I kind of like figured out ways for me to make it work a long time ago. So it's been good. And, I've been writing a lot of songs and it's crazy. I put out my first song in quarantine and, it's been,
It did pretty well.
starting in quarantine. So it's been a very eventful quarantine.
It did pretty well. But people are going to ask me, what else are you working on? We doing an album? We doing an EP? What are we targeting here?
I know, but people don't know yet. So I'm going to keep that one a secret. But I think the project, as I'm calling it, is going to be really fun. And I'm working on it right now, actually. And it's been a really wild ride.
I figured you had something up your sleeve because I think I read you wrote a song every day during quarantine. Is that true or false?
I don't know. Quarantine is like a broad term. I think I wrote a song a day every day in like lockdown at the beginning when it was like really strict. So I probably wrote a song a day for like 4 months or so, which was really hard, but honestly such an amazing challenge. And I feel like I'm a better songwriter because of it. But yeah, I definitely write a lot. So yeah, there's a lot to work with.
When driver's license became huge, I think I heard or I read that you said everything sort of stayed the same. You kept writing, you're in your house doing your normal stuff, except Taylor Swift is sliding into the DMs. Talk about, that's got to be pretty wild. Talk about that.
Yeah, that is super insane because I am so inspired by her. I would not be half of the songwriter I am today without her. So to have her blessing was just really the biggest honor in the whole world. I look up to her immensely.
When you saw her name in your DMs, though, did your heart jump out of your chest where you're like, what?
Yeah, so I was like dead asleep and one of my friends called me up and he's like, Olivia, you have to check your Instagram right now. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like early in the morning. Can I check it later? And he's like, no, you have to check it right now. And I like checked it and she had commented on my photo. And that was just so insane. And I was screaming my head off and I don't think I could go back to sleep after that.
All right, Olivia, we've heard this song quite a bit. It is so massive. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Describe. I've heard it. We think we know what it's about. Let me ask you, what is driver's license about?
Yes, driver's license is about me and an experience that I went through. I think music is better left unexplained.
Fair enough. Well, we shall do it. By the way, they should have this song, and I've said this on the radio here locally in LA. They should have this song on loop inside the DMV. Wouldn't that be great? That would be perfect. All right, let's just do it. Here we go. I drive alone past the street. You say this, that line. Has that street become, if nothing else, amongst you, your friends, your family, has that street become famous in a way?
You know what? I actually think that was fairly metaphorical. I don't think that I've actually done that in my real life a ton. So yeah, it wasn't exactly autobiographical, so I can't speak to that.
Well, I'm going to pick a street and just kind of go.
All right, just pick a street and name it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Just had to know. Olivia, true or false, you used to write One Direction fan fiction, I think, and now Niall, my buddy Niall Horn, who I love that guy, he's a fan and he gives you advice now. How did that whole, give me a little bit of that. Give me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So he reached out and he really likes driver's license and I'm obsessed with him and his music. I think he's just so talented and wonderful. And so we were like talking, and I like said something in an interview the next day about like how I used to write One Direction fanfic. That wasn't creepy. I promised it was not creepy. It was really wholesome.
Not creepy.
And he like texted me. He's like, heard you were writing One Direction fanfic. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. This is my most embarrassing moment of my life. But he's so kind and wonderful. But yes, that is true about me.
And he's the best. I was supposed to do a couple of dates with him, just traveling with him. And I think I was doing Mexico with him. And there was an earthquake, unfortunately, in Mexico. We never did the date. But I've talked to Niall, I don't know how many. He's such a great guy. So you guys, that's a collab in the making, Olivia. I mean, seriously.
You know what? You're probably right. Maybe we should look into that.
It's now in the universe. Olivia, nobody, I mean, speaking on driver's license, nobody wants to break up, obviously. But after everything that happened, do you think that everything worked out okay?
You know
With
what?
the success of the song and all that, you know?
Yeah. I think that pain and heartbreak can be one of the most beautiful, creatively generative experiences. And actually putting this song was about sort of this really painful, vulnerable, like weak moments in my life. I talked about being really insecure in the song, and it just so happens that putting out this song and this entire experience has been one of the most empowering experiences of my whole life, and I wouldn't go back and change a thing.
I'll tell you what, when you hear the song, it's like your heart is just on a platter, like, just like you said, raw and that's why this track works, Olivia, in my opinion, anyway.
Oh, thank you.
When you heard the news, I'm curious that moment when somebody called you or emailed you, when you heard the news that Driver's License debuted at #1 and it broke all kind of streaming records. I mean, when you get that, walk me through that call and just the rush of it.
Yeah. So I truly did not think it was going to debut at #1. I don't think like a lot of people did. I remember I called my best friend, and I was in Salt Lake City at the time, and she was in New York, and I wanted her to fly out to Salt Lake City to come and visit me. And she was like, oh, like if it's #1 on the Billboard charts, I'll come and visit you, kind of thinking it was like never going to be #1 on the Billboard charts. So she didn't have to fly out and see me. And I called her. I'm like recently, I'm like, girl, it's been #1 for 7 weeks now, and you're still not here. And so no, I think nobody like really expected that. That's just absolutely surreal. And I truly like can't believe that people like listen to my song that much. It really feels like a glitch in the simulation. Like it doesn't feel like reality still.
It is. It's massive, Olivia, and huge congrats. I mean, what else can I say? I mean, at least, too bad your friend didn't show up for 7 weeks, but aside from that, she's not telling me, she's not leaking any info on an EP or an album, but there is a project of sorts sort of bubbling. Is that fair to say right there?
That's a fair statement.
What else? What am I forgetting to ask you, Olivia?
Oh gosh.
Something deep and crazy and emotional. Did I forget something, or I don't know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're forgetting. No, I feel really grateful to be here on your show, and I feel really grateful that people want to listen to what I have to say. And yeah. Feel really blessed.
Well, one of these days we'll talk ghost stories. I'll have you on my podcast, Paranormalish. It'll be a blast because I know you love that stuff.
I'm so excited. No, I literally like collect ghost stories. Like every time I get in the hair and makeup chair with a new hair and makeup artist, I'm like, do you guys have any ghost stories? Like, tell me everything.
All right, get ready. I got something for you. Olivia, thanks for hanging out. At the end of every countdown, fist bump to make it official. Tap that cam. Boom. You know Francia Raisa, the actress on Grownish? Do you know her at all?
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, even if you don't, that's okay. But okay. She has 2 sisters, and they came in to do an interview one night. This is at Kiss in LA, and they knew I was all about the ghost stories. So they all came in and says, "Jojo, we got something for you." I'm like, "All right, what's up?" 3 sisters. The youngest sister, before I even get to that, they lived, mom, dad, 3 sisters, and grandma in a house. It was in Northridge.
Okay.
Really close to grandma, and they were young at the time, like 6, 7, 8, give or take. Grandmother passed away, unfortunately.
Okay.
But they were so close to grandmother that the parents, they decided not to tell the kids that she had passed away, just heartbreak in general. They didn't know how to deal with it. So they would make an excuse that she was with Aunt so-and-so or Uncle so-and-so or in the hospital. They didn't tell the kids that grandmother had passed until a year later. A year. So she has been passed, rest in peace, grandma, for a year. Rewind, a week after she had passed. So once again, they have no idea grandma is gone.
Okay.
Mom calls upstairs and says, "Hey, come get some food. I just made some food." The youngest daughter says, "I can't come down, Mom. I'm braiding grandmother's hair." she had some, I mean, who knows what that was, but she had her hair or something in her hands braiding a lady's hair. Mom, of course, rushed upstairs, and then grandmother, obviously, she's gone. Oh, Mom, you made grandma leave. I mean, take it or leave it, believe it or not, but what the heck, right?
I'm floored. I am floored. That's insane. That's whoa, that's captivating.
It's nuts. It is, one other quick one. Halsey, and not every story is with the celebrity, a lot of just everyday people,
Yeah.
But Halsey told me the story once where she was a little kid and she'd walk around, she would sing, like little kids sing songs, whatever. She'd walk around, she would sing these numbers, the same number sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It wasn't that, but and she would do that all the time. No big deal. Her aunt comes over and says, and she hears little Halsey singing that. She tells her mom, "You know what that number is, don't you?" I'm like, "What?" "That's our great grandmother's phone number." Now, how is she going to know? There's not a Post-it note. They're not calling her on a daily. Not as frightening as the other one, but
she just knew. Oh my God.
So there's a lot more of those, but anyway, I'll leave you with that.
We need to have a larger conversation with this. I'm so excited.